There is currently a new law being proposed in Nevada that would offer medical marijuana, medicinal marijuana, to pets. Now, there's a Democratic senator in the state of Nevada that proposed this, and he says that, look, veterinarians would have to justify the pot usage for the pets, right? You got to make sure that they have serious illnesses that could be alleviated by pot, but the drug has been proven to have medicinal value for humans, so why wouldn't it have medicinal value for pets? Now, according to the state senator who has proposed this, he says, look, you don't know until you try. And apparently there is a vet in Los Angeles by the name of Doug Kramer who has actually done this for his Siberian Husky who had tumors removed. Apparently he was in a lot of pain, and so the dog was given medicinal pot, and then apparently he gained some weight and he lived 6 weeks longer. All right, here's a quote from Kramer himself. He said, "I grew tired of euthanizing pets when I wasn't doing everything I could to make their lives better. I felt like I was letting them down." This is a fascinating story. I'm a huge supporter of medical marijuana, recreational marijuana, especially recreational marijuana after a long day of work. But I want to know what you guys think. Hank, make your point.
You know that dog owners are going to be prescribing this just so they can smoke it themselves.
Do you, boo?
Do you, boo?
I don't mind it at all.
I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I'm like, let's one step at a time. Let's try to get it legalized for humans first, because I'll tell you right now, my dog, the last thing he needs is a joint. He already acts like he's high all the time anyways. He just stares at you.
Yeah.
He runs into things. He sleeps. He slobbers on random people. Like, he doesn't need this.
He's doing everything that we wish we could do.
Pretty much. Can you imagine, too? Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine, though, going into a doctor, going to a vet and being like, oh, no, Trixie has joint problems and right, just oh, I'm gonna need 30 ounces for the next 20 weeks.
No, I think that if there is medicinal value for these animals and it's not going to harm them, then I'm all for it.
Or be used by their owners.
Right. Look, I'm an animal welfare.
Yes.
Proponent. That's all I'm gonna say. Robby.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question if it's good for the dogs, because we don't really know yet. I don't think there aren't any conducive studies that this is actually helping the dogs. But I mean, either way, I'm all for it. I am all for it either way. Think of the viral videos.
I know there'd be some good stuff. Definitely.
Think of it, the beautiful day that will be.
That's what internet people are really concerned about. Okay, we want the viral videos.
And the welfare of the pets. And
that's true.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, keep Robby employed. More videos on Equal Cert, yeah.
All right, here's a personal question. Have you ever taken a mood-altering substance without your knowledge? Hank.
It wasn't without my knowledge, but I'm just a lightweight all around, and so I can't handle my drugs. And Anna, I don't know if I told you this before. I might have, in a private conversation. But July 4th, I had my first. Am I going to go to jail for this? I had E. Is that? So, and I never.
MDMA. That was probably cut with other things, but that's all right.
But I tell you, I was in the corner of that pool on that roof. A friend loaned me their baseball cap. I was literally hovering above the water like this, in sunglasses, up against the wall. People were, for 3 hours, people were coming up to me, and people were literally like, "Are you okay?" And I literally would be like, "Listen, if you could just stay here for just a moment, that would be really good." Like strangers, and I would just be on top of people,
would you also do this?
I was touching hair. Yeah. I was touching hair, and girls would be telling their boyfriends. Girls would be like, "No, it's totally cool. He's gay."
Awesome.
He's totally cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I would just be on people.
So you didn't enjoy it?
It was, I'm not going to say I didn't, you know what, it was weird. It was really weird. I wouldn't say I wouldn't do it again, but I did not expect that. And then afterwards, I don't smoke or drink heavily. Oh my God, beer after beer after beer, after cigarette after cigarette. I was like, is that a Virginia Slim? Give it to me. Is that a Marlboro? Give it to me.
Oh my God.
I was done. I was so dehydrated.
You probably had a bad pill, because I'm telling you, you get the right pill and you're like,
It was one July 4th, remember. Can I do July 4th with you next time?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Robby, what do you think? Or what's your answer?
The only example of this, I think, was I was younger. I think I was 13, and I was at a party, actually, with my parents and some family friends. And there were those little chocolate liqueurs, you know? And guess who didn't know what liqueur meant? So I downed some of these chocolates, and after a while, I think my mom caught me, and I had 4 of them, which wasn't too bad, but it was enough where I started to feel really dizzy, and I was like, wait a minute,
Well, 13.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was like really, really young, and I was like 90 pounds at 13. Like I was like a tiny dude, you know. So
I didn't know that those things could actually get you drunk.
yeah,
At 13, when you're 90 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, I think I did.
Or Asian.
I did have like a substantial amount of them
Yeah.
before anybody caught me.
That's hilarious. I've never unwittingly took a substance that had some mood-altering effect. However, I did once, a friend of mine was prescribed Adderall, and he asked me if I wanted to try one. And I was like, yeah, because we had done so many stories on Adderall and how it's supposed to make you so focused and like, you know, motivated and hardworking, and that's the kind of stuff I'm obsessed with. So I was like, oh, this is the magic pill. I finally have access to it. Of course I'm going to try it. So I didn't realize how much it messes with your dopamine, or it messes with some chemical in your brain that like makes you insanely happy and peppy. And so before I knew it, I was insanely happy and peppy, and I wanted to go dancing, and I was like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, you know what? I love everyone. I love everyone. You guys are all great. You guys, everyone I work with, you guys are wonderful. And then later on, I figured out it was the Adderall. I was like, what was that random good mood that I was in? That never happens. Anyway, that was my experience. But I want to hear from your experiences. So comment in the section below and let me know if you've ever taken a mood-altering substance, either with your knowledge or without your knowledge. And I want to read your comments in a video that we'll do soon. We do read your comments. We do respond to them. We do love hearing from you guys, so make sure you do it. And that does it for today's show.